Step number 5 in the 15-step playbook for pain relief. Welcome everybody, it's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform any stress, any tension, any pain into health, happiness, and vitality. Today, we are centering in on step number 5 of the 15-step playbook for pain relief. Folks, if you've not had chance, now is the time to go get your free digital copy of this book. It's not going to remain free for the indefinite future. In the next few weeks here, I'm about to launch a new program, which I'm really excited about. And that will actually allow you to access the book and some great complementary tools that will go with that, including a 3-hour course that I've personally put together and been videoing. And that's ready, and it's ready to go. Just other elements, we're just finishing off the pieces of that. But this book right now is still available for free to digitally download at my website, jasonbarlowrmt.com. If you want to get the physical copy, just go to Amazon, your respective country. And Amazon has got an amazing part of their company called Kindle Publishing. And so these books only get printed when somebody orders one. They're not sitting on the shelves anywhere right now. I've got a couple here, and that's about it. As soon as you order it, it gets printed by Amazon, and they send it off to your mailing address. It's a great book in the sense that it's foldable. Throw it in your shorts, throw it in your jersey bag, and just basically, I want it to be used. It's a playbook for that purpose. You go in and you use steps number 4 to 5, and then next week you might go to 10 and 12. Like, you just pick and choose. And how do you choose? Well, you base it upon where you're currently at. There are 4 health controls that I'm discussing in my book. Number 1 is the mindset. To me, that's the most important. Number 2 is the physical, as far as movement and stretching is concerned. The 3rd element is what you're ingesting by way of food. And the 4th element is your rest and recovery. Everything else outside of your health is out of your control. Those are the 4 things. And that covers it all as far as your health is concerned. So you got to be the driving force to your health. Nobody's going to come and invest the time and due diligence that you should and you can. I say should because I firmly believe you should. You are the driving force behind your accomplishment of health, happiness, and vitality. And regardless of your current state of health, there is still a choice to experience happiness. And that might seem really out there, far beyond in the universe, beyond the stars, the idea of thinking like that. But it's possible. I've experienced it. I continue to experience it. For example, every night you fall asleep, do you experience the pain that you have when you're awake? And the answer to that is no. And when you fall asleep, your mind becomes very subtle at that point. So you're not aware of your physical body as you know it when you're awake. But when you wake up, your physical body is back. And so is your grasping mind that says this body is the most important. And then it grasps so tightly and believes so strongly that this body is an independently arising, inherently existent body. We grasp onto that pain once again, and guess what? Pain arises. But every night we fall asleep, the pain we were experiencing pacifies once again. So profound. Our sleep is teaching us something every night we fall asleep, but we just think, I just need to sleep so I can rest. And yes, on one hand, that is important. But it's actually teaching us something about our mind. Our mind has the potential to become very subtle. And it has the potential to create elephants in our bedroom. So what's that all about? Aren't you deeply convinced when you're in your dream that what is currently being experienced within your dream feels incredibly real? And what if you were being chased by somebody in your dream? What would you do? How would you escape that person? Well, you try running, but sometimes you're running, but you're stuck in mud, and it's all those scenarios that we see in the movies. So what do? You would wake up. When you wake up from that dream, you go, okay, thank goodness, that was just a dream. That was just a dream. In Buddha's instructions, it goes far beyond just the dreams at night that we're sleeping in that we go, I need to wake up from. We can also wake up from our daily experiences of grasping tightly onto this body and the pain that we're actually experiencing. Now, I'm going down the rabbit hole, and some people want to go down there and some people don't. I'm going to stop at that point. Let you peek down the rabbit hole, and hopefully it's whet your appetite. Another reason to get my book, because I talk about mindset and I give you some great resources at the back in my appendix of recommended reading. One of those books is called How to Transform Your Life by Geshe Kelsang Gyatso. You got to download that one. Again, you get mine for free if you act now. You'll also get his book for free, which I don't think he's ever going to charge for the digital edition of that book, because he's made it available to everybody in the world so you can learn to understand your mind, train your mind through meditation, and deepen your experience of spirituality and learning where real happiness actually comes from. Anyway, we shall move on from there. Today's focus, step number 5, is my exercise number 2 called the Prone Cobra. I give it a video demonstration on my website, which the link for that is down below. You can't just go on my website and find it. You got to put a bit of effort in there. So in the description below, you'll see there's actually a link that you can copy and paste. It's a URL, goes into your browser. That's also available in my book at the bottom of the page, either digital or physical edition. You'll be able to access that. And my video will show you exactly what to do for this exercise. The whole purpose of this exercise, remember, the whole essence of my book is to help you learn to pay off your postural debt. We all have it. We're all accumulating it every day. But what are we doing to take the time to pay off that debt? The quicker we pay off any kind of debt, the freer we actually feel. Now, we have mental debts by way of our emotions and our stress and depression and anxieties and negative states of mind. We also have physical debts by way of how we use our body, abuse our body, and by way of our postures throughout our day. So again, I give lots of reference to that in my book. This particular exercise is centering around the mid to upper thoracic, which is your upper back, and your cervical, which is your neck, your posture with respect to those two areas of your body, which is fundamental when you think about what you might be doing right now, watching me on a device or listening to me on a device. Where's your head? Where's your head right now as you're listening to me? Is it looking down at the device, looking down at your laptop? Or is your head nicely placed upon your spine, your shoulders are slightly squeezed together, the chest is open, the thoracic spine is in slight extension? So that's what we should be aiming for as much as possible, as long as possible every day. Now, this exercise called the Prone Cobra is a very purposeful exercise to actually recondition, retrain. Notice the two words I use there, recondition, because you've conditioned it in the past. It's just it's deconditioned right now, and you need to recondition it. And you also had it as a learned process by way of how you crawled as a baby and you sat as a baby and you functioned as a toddler. It's once we started school that we started to adopt this faulty posture of sitting forward. Now, I say faulty posture, it's not inherently faulty, because it's ultimately the time that you spend in that position that determines the postural debt that you're accumulating. Remember, as I talk about in my book, it is the dose that makes the poison. How much you do of anything will determine if it's going to be beneficial or non-beneficial to the body. This exercise is incredibly beneficial for the body. I've never had anybody do this exercise too much that they've come in and their body is completely extended into the opposite posture to how they spend most of the day. Is it possible? It is. I haven't seen it yet. It would take thousands and tens of thousands of repetitions to make that happen. But you think about how many hours every day that you might be sitting with the shoulders rounded forward, the posture with the head driving forward. This position or exercise, is going to reposition your body, recondition your muscles, and retrain them to hold you more naturally in that upright position. So it's going to help keep the head upon the spine. It's going to help keep the shoulder blades slightly squeezed together and engaged, which will then counter the amount of pull of all the anterior muscles that we've been talking about in the past, and all the chest anterior muscles also that pull the body forward. And that's what it's all about with the upper body mechanics, and even the lower body mechanics for that matter, is it's a yin and yang. It's a tug of war. It is a teeter-totter, seesaw. Certain muscles right now are too strong and too dominant. They're weighing down on one side of that teeter-totter, and as a result, the other ones can't push down to kind of calibrate and balance that teeter-totter. Seesaw for anybody listening in the UK. And so, to help balance that teeter-totter, what we have to do is exercises like I'm sharing today, which is why it's one of my 3 top exercises to help calibrate the upper body mechanics, reposition the head, and therefore have less stress, tension, and pain in this upper extremity. It's also going to take pressure off these anterior nerves. You know what? I'm going to stop at that point, because all I want you to understand this week is that this is one of the most powerful exercises to help with your upper neck, upper back, shoulders, and arms. Next week, I'm going to dive a bit deeper as to the true benefits of this exercise. But know right now, it will truly help with alignment of your upper body and alleviate any nerve compressions and tension that you're getting in your neck and your upper back. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that of benefit. Remember, go get my book whilst it's still free, jasonbarlowrmt.com. Fire off an email to me and I'll fire this copy to you, and you got it in your inbox. All you have to do is download it to your device. It needs Acrobat Reader, or if you've got a smartphone, most common, like I use an iPhone, so I know I can put a PDF into my iBooks and use it as a book from there on in. So I'm sure you have something similar in your devices. I'm going to zip it. Thank you for joining me. Your muscle health is my #1 priority. We'll see you tomorrow for my book of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.